2026 has been a massive change in my life. I just had 2 kids. My time has been very limited, and I'm trying to figure out how to become more efficient with my time. And I believe this video is going to change your life. All right. So the first one, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. One of the biggest lessons that I learned from actually implementing Jiu-Jitsu in my own life was the constant battle of doing things that are hard every single day and facing reality. Example, most of us, and particularly maybe men, we walk around and we think that we could defend ourselves, right? Like we think if it comes down to it, we could get after it. I learned to not, I learned that that was not true. In a day-to-day, when I would go to jiu-jitsu, I would go at people half my size and I would constantly get submitted and absolutely demolished. So with BJJ, one of the things that I've learned is that it's not about brute force, right? So when I look at my own life, it's not about like, oh, okay, if I work 15 hours a day, I will get to where I want to go to. No. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you learn the concept of working smarter and learning leverage and learning moves that could actually beat people and opponents that are maybe bigger or stronger and faster than you. So what we can implement in our own life is, look, you don't have to break your head 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. This is something that I felt victim to in my earlier 20s, mid 20s, where I always felt like I had to be doing something, but I didn't really figure out what is the most efficient use of my time. All right, let's take a look at the second thing. Research behind locking in. I want to show you guys something as a recent on my Brick app, right? I've shown you guys this app where I can lock my social media, and last week I averaged 23 hours and 45 minutes on Brick mode, which is basically saying no social media. Same thing this week, almost 23 hours and 56 minutes on average per day. I found this research from a professor from Florida State, and he says that social media is the biggest waste of your time in your life by far. And the issue is the following. You think going on Instagram maybe once in an hour, maybe just checking it even for just 5 minutes is only wasting 5 minutes. But his research actually shows that if you are constantly going on these apps, you are completely cooking your deep work, your deep focus, because it requires your brain to be in around 1 hour to hour and a half, 2 hours of no distractions to actually get in what's called that flow state. Again, massive thing. If you are checking social media, even if it's just once every 2 hours, you're pretty much resetting that clock to not allow you to lock the F in. All right, so very important for myself. I've completely bricked all my apps and I've seen the difference. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and fake a scenario. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I've seen the difference in my level of focus and attention and working on the things that actually matter. The third thing, corporate life is cooked. Why do I mention this? Well, I think the framework, the format in which we are all put into work in society is absolutely in reverse. They give us pretty much all the same hours, minimum. Let's say if you work full time, you're working 40 hours a week. And this created, and I think in my own life, this created this place where we always feel like we have to constantly be moving, but we're not actually dialed in as to what to work on. And then we put stuff in our life to make ourselves feel busy versus actually doing the things that move the needle. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. With social media, you guys obviously know I've been posting on Instagram and TikTok. And don't get me wrong, TikTok was great for myself in TikTok live streams. It helped me monetize. I made over $20,000, helped me learn how to make sales, make a product. Great. The issue was I was spending time on social media apps that weren't actually moving me in the right direction. And with Instagram, for example, I was posting consistently and I really wasn't getting anything out of it, but I was spending so much time on it per day. Again, making myself feel productive versus actually focusing in on what is the thing that moves the needle. As I sat down past couple of months, I realized, let me just put more energy into something else. And I started focusing more on Twitter. And you guys know from the last video that I said I've been able to book 80 plus guests in 2026. And these are A-list people. We're talking mayors of different cities. We're talking professional athletes, astronauts, legitimately all through putting my energy into something that's completely different. And guys, I think for all of us, this can relate in your own take. Try to focus on the things that move the needle. I know it sounds redundant or maybe kind of like obvious, but maybe hearing it from someone else may benefit you. All right. Now the last piece, my suggestion to lock in 2026. And I'm gonna be honest. Look, in my own life, the thing that I've known to be true is action is the most important thing. So a lot of times people get stuck in what's called paralysis, paradox of choice, and you don't know where to start. All I gotta say is in my own journey, just doing and getting after it and just doing whatever to get movement will be the most important thing. So for myself, TikTok was the place where I first started, allocated all my energy. In hindsight, was it the best efficient use of my time? No, it wasn't. On paper, it wasn't. But everything got me to where I'm at right now, and I don't change that for anything, right? So all that consistency of posting on TikTok resulted in me saying, you know what, let me start an email letter. That email letter resulted in me reaching out to podcast guests, and everything has flown, right? So what I would say is it's both, right? You're not going to know exactly what is the most efficient use to your time without actually putting in the reps, all right? Hopefully that helped you out. If you guys want the full write-up of that on my Substack, I'll post a link on the description for the video. You guys can read it there. Make sure to subscribe and like these videos, guys. Appreciate it more than you know, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let's go.